What's going on, fellow gamblers? Welcome back to Straight Betting. Today is Friday, December 5th. Back again with NBA player props. Got 5 bets for today. We got a pretty damn good looking slate. We got to let them rip. But also, guys, of course, doing a little giveaway. If we do indeed have a positive day today, I will be giving out $25 to someone who is liking this video. Comments down below what your favorite play is and is subscribed to the channel. We unfortunately did not have that winning day yesterday, but let's get into the recap, talk it over a little bit, and then we'll get into the 5 picks. Okay, guys, so yesterday was not great. Not super pleased with myself either. We'll talk about the winners first. 2 ones that were in the video, actually, which is nice for you guys at least. But Jordan Hawkins over 6.5 points, had 7 points. Honestly, though, I was way off on the minute projection. I think he shot the ball like 6 times, shot 2 free throws, so volume was fine, I guess, but not too pleased with myself on that one. Other winner was Ant Edwards, under 39.5 PRA. And guys, I am very, very pleased with that one, right? I mean, he took like 6 shots. You never see that from Anthony Edwards. But yeah, like last game, I was right about the double team. So happy about that. Losers, Yegor Demon over 13.5 points and rebounds. Look, Michael Porter didn't play, so got really good CLV. But at the end of the day, the numbers showed that Yegor was good with Porter off the court and Thomas, like really good volume. I should have just trusted my gut, knowing that Yegor is just not that guy. Maxey under 3.5 threes. He shot 10, didn't really watch much, but 10 threes is not the volume I was looking for, so I'm not happy with that one. Draymond over 1.5 threes. Honestly, I was really happy with that one. He played 9 minutes, shot 3 threes, made 1, and then he got hurt. So, but 3 threes in 9 minutes is really good volume. LeBron over 6.5 rebounds. Got this at plus money, plus 110 actually. Ended at 6 on the dot. Honestly, I can't complain. Without Luka, I thought he was going to be the ones getting those like weak side boards and stuff. But yeah, not terribly mad about that one either. Okay, guys, first official play I'm going with Jeremy Sochan over 3.5 rebounds, back up big for the Spurs. Kind of a very random one, right? But guys, Luke Cornett, and if you guys are familiar with my betting style whatsoever, you guys know I am very into buying into unknown variants, especially with injuries. So, guys, Luke Cornett has been off the injury report since he came back from an ankle injury. He popped up with ankle soreness. He's questionable for this one. He missed a decent amount of time with that ankle. So, look, he's questionable, right? Is he going to play? Maybe. Is he going to not play? Maybe. Here's the thing. If he doesn't play, I think that we probably, because then they won't really have a center. I think that we probably see like 26 minutes or something with if Cornett does indeed miss. And obviously, if you go to like without Wemby, he's averaging 4.3 rebounds on 17.9 minutes. If you get 26 minutes without Wemby and Cornett, he should easily be able to get 4 rebounds, obviously. But also, guys, if you like look at the matchup, right? I think this is a good matchup for Sochan anyways, right? He's like a 6'9", very versatile wing, really good defender. Honestly, dude, he makes a lot of sense to guard Evan Mobley, right? And obviously, guys, this Cavs team is going to be without Jarrett Allen. They're going to be without Larry Nance. They're actually, usually you think of the Cavs, right? This super big, lanky team, double big, all that stuff. That's not the case, man. They're actually a pretty small ball team right now. So I do think that Jeremy Sochan, from a defensive standpoint especially, actually makes a lot of sense anyways. I think he matches up really, really good with Evan Mobley, with how mobile he is, with how strong he is, with his length and stuff like that. So I think it just makes sense for him to play anyways. But yeah, if you just go to like without Wemby, right? Let's say Cornett does play. Well, without Wemby, all these games are with Cornett. He is averaging 17.9 minutes. He's averaging 4.3 rebounds. Obviously, guys, he's had 5 or more rebounds in 6 out of 9 games. If you just do without Wemby, right, he's at 17.9 minutes. Let's just split the difference a little bit. We do 22 minutes to 14 minutes, and we're going to make the sample size big. Of course, no Wemby definitely matters, right? So with 14 to 22 minutes without Wemby, he is over in 76.5% of games anyways, guys. And like I said, this just feels like the possibility of Cornett being out like isn't baked into this line whatsoever, man, right? So to be honest, like if I'm right about, Sochan matching up good with Mobley and the coach thinks the same, this is probably a pretty damn good bet regardless, right? And he does get like, say he plays like 18 minutes or something. But then like if Cornett doesn't play, right? He's like this minute range is like way wrong. I'm doing this minute range based off of Cornett playing, right? If Cornett doesn't play, and like I said, my 26-minute projection is accurate, let's do like 22 to 28, right? Then it's still 9 out of 12, which is kind of embarrassing. But yeah, look, man, I think that this is a pretty damn good look. And if Cornett doesn't play, this one should get over pretty damn easily. And if he does play, I still think we're sitting pretty good. All right, guys, second official play. I am going to go with Kawhi Leonard over 30.5 points and rebounds, minus 118 at Caesars is where I got it at. Look, man, I think that this is another pretty poor line, right? And also 33.5 PRA is fine. I think 25.5 points is pretty good. So they're playing Memphis, right? If we go to head against Memphis, they are, I mean, Kawhi, he shot very well. Like, of course he did. But with that being said, man, he only played 29 minutes. He took 24 shots, had 39 points, 3 rebounds. That's his best points and rebounds game per minute game. Points and rebounds per minute game this year. And it makes sense, guys. So Memphis, this isn't going to tell the whole story, right? This pull-up stuff matters. Obviously, guys, Kawhi very reliant at getting to his spots off the bounce, on the mid-range, from deep, all that good stuff. But guys, with Edey and Jaren Jackson, like I said, this is not going to tell the whole story. They're playing with Jock Landale, added a little bit. They are very tough at the rim, right? And if you look at Kawhi, only 9% of his points are coming at the restricted area, from the restricted area, right? This guy is like a mid-range assassin, does some stuff from deep too. But yeah, I mean, if we go to like the last 10 games, Memphis, they are allowing the 4th most mid-range field goal attempts. Obviously, that's great, and that plays into why he had such a good game there. The 3rd highest pull-up frequency / field goals made, same thing. That's what Memphis has given up over the last 10 games. So yeah, pretty equal game here too, right? 1.5 point spread. Clippers are favorited. We should get a competitive game. But guys, I haven't even said like the juiciest stuff yet, right? We hover over this Hawks game, right? Obviously, guys, Kawhi got hurt, was playing low minutes, played a back-to-back, played against the Heat where they got blown out. But guys, in a game where the Clippers did not get blown out, it was a blowout. I will mention that. He played 35 minutes. He sat the last 5 minutes too, right? So there's probably an extra like 2 or 3 minutes on the table. Harden and Zubac checked out with 3 minutes left. So he was on like a 38-minute rotation last game, guys. So I'm being pretty conservative with this here, right? But if you just do the math, right, he's at 31.4 points and rebounds on the year on 31.5 minutes. So basically, a point and rebound per minute is where he's at. He's shooting pretty normal. He's at like 50% from the field, 40% from deep, which crazy to say it's normal, but that's been Kawhi. That's been who he has been the past couple of years. So yeah, like per 34 minutes, right, which is I guess where I have him at. He's at 33.9 points and rebounds per 34 minutes, and it's a great matchup. Honestly, guys, I really, really like this Kawhi one at 30.5 points and rebounds. Like I said, totally fine with 25.5 points as well. Totally fine with 33.5 PRA, 34.5 PRA. Honestly, I just think that this Kawhi line is pretty damn mispriced. All right, guys, 3rd official play. This one's kind of a weird one. I'm going with Peyton Watson over 12.5 points. So if we go to games with Jokic and Murray, of course, and then take off Gordon and Christian Brown, who are still indeed out, we can see that Peyton Watson is averaging 18 points and 33.4 minutes. Now, do I think he's playing over his head with this 18-point average? For sure. He's had a couple big games that are kind of skewing that a little bit. Shot the ball incredibly well in a few of these games. But I say all that to say, man, this is a really, really good matchup, in my opinion, for Peyton Watson, right? And the minutes are going to be there, right? 33.4 minutes. He's playing a ton. The only game, and guys, in these competitive games too, right? 36 minutes, 35 minutes. This one was a blowout, 28 minutes. Now, maybe this could be a blowout, especially if Jalen Johnson doesn't play. But, I mean, he's played 33 or more minutes in every single game that's been semi-competitive. So, last game and on the year, if we go to, like, Jokic real quick, right? If we go to Jokic real quick, we can see that the Hawks are allowing the 8th fewest points per game to post up. I watched the Clippers game last game. I had a bet on Zubac over rebounds and assists, because they double post-ups, right? They double the post a lot. If they're going to double Zubac, they are going to double Jokic. So obviously, who do you want to live with if you're Quinn Snyder shooting the ball? Do you want to live with Cam Johnson shooting wide open threes? No. Do you want to live with Tim Hardaway shooting wide open threes? No. Do you want to live with Jamal Murray shooting wide open threes? No, you don't. You want to live with Peyton Watson shooting. So although, if we go down to like catch and shoot, Atlanta's been stingy against catch and shoot. But if they're going to double Jokic, Peyton Watson's going to be the guy who they want shooting the threes, right? So I do think some catch and shoot threes will be there. But guys, this is like the bread and butter, right? Peyton Watson, as we can see on his player chart right here, 55% of his points are coming in the restricted area. If we go to the opposing defense, Hawks are 23rd. That's like the one weak point in their defense. But guys, it's even worse than that, right? Because if you filter it to like last 10 games, they are allowing the 2nd most points per game in the restricted area, right? So what that tells me is like, what that tells me what they're going to be vulnerable to if they're going to double Jokic and they're going to still give up points in the restricted area. What that tells me is that Peyton Watson cuts are going to be there here. And if you go to like Peyton Watson, 26% of his points, which is a very, very high number for any player, are coming off of cuts to the basket, right? So I think that those are going to be there. I think that the catch and shoot stuff is going to be there. And honestly, guys, he's playing a ton of minutes. He's been balling out. I think that this is a pretty sneaky play, but I really, really like Peyton Watson over 12.5 points, and that is going to be the third official play. And real quick, before I get into plays number 4 and 5, guys, if you guys are serious about betting on the NBA, if you guys are trying to level up your game, there's no better tool to do so than Props Madness, guys. It is the tool I have behind me on all my streams and all my videos. I would be absolutely lost without it. It has every single filter in the game. It makes betting, researching bets super, super easy and time efficient. So if you guys are serious about betting, make sure to check out Props Madness. You can get 25% off your first purchase using code SB25. So make sure to use that code as well when you do so. Fourth official play, guys, hitting it with the first under of the video. I'm going with Austin Reaves under 41.5 points and assists, guys. And honestly, I'm not going to use a ton of charts here. What I am going to do is just quick scroll down and look, this isn't going to be sticky game after game after game, right? Jalen Brunson, very high usage guard, just had like one of the worst games of his Knicks career, 15 points on 39 minutes. Now, I know like Donovan Mitchell had a couple very quiet games against the Celtics as well. I know Ant had a good game. Cade had a good game. Harden did too. Look, man, here, if we scroll down here, pick and roll handler, Celtics allow the 6th fewest points per game to the pick and roll handler. Celtics also allow the 6th fewest points per game in isolation. Guys, when I tell you this is kind of a trust me bro thing, but I've watched a decent amount of Celtics, and Joe Mazzulla throws a lot of stuff at high usage guards who are like really like the only option for their team. So Celtics over like their last 10 games are allowing the 4th highest catch and shoot frequency as well, which obviously Austin Reaves, guys, he's not getting catch and shoot stuff when he's having this high of a usage. Like sure, when he's playing alongside Luka, sure. Maybe last year when LeBron wasn't like washed, he was getting good catch and shoot looks. He's not getting that this year. So Celtics, they've been giving up a lot of catch and shoot stuff. They're allowing the 4th lowest pull-up frequency or 3rd lowest pull-up frequency over the last 10 games. The 4th fewest pull-up field goals made over the last 10 games as well. Obviously, I mentioned that pick and roll handler stuff, that isolation stuff. And guys, I'm going to say this about Austin Reaves. He is a very, very good player, a very, very good offensive player. But at this point, you know, some of these earlier games, there wasn't a ton of tape on Austin Reaves as like a true first option, right? Austin Reaves, guys, this 41.5 points in assist line, realistically, man, it's probably the highest points in assist. It's higher. I bet it's higher than Nikola Jokic's. I bet it's the highest points in assist line on this entire slate. I do think, like I said, I'm not saying he's not a good player, but is he really worthy of this high of a line against a team that plays slow as hell? If we go to the Celtics, right? Celtics are 30th in pace, and in defensive rating, they are 16th. So middle of the pack. They're a pretty good defense, though, especially when Neemias Queta plays. Guys, good coach, too. It's a back-to-back coming off of 41 minutes, back-to-back with travel at that, man. We know that they're going to scheme against him. They're going to make it tough for him. There's a lot of tape on him as the first option. I don't know, man. I think that Austin Reaves is a good player. I don't think he's willing of having the highest points and assists line on any given mark. Now, when it comes to LeBron playing, I honestly don't care if he plays or not. I'm just going to be completely honest. I really don't care if he plays. He has a props line listed. It's a back-to-back. He played a ton of minutes. He probably wants to play in Lakers versus Celtics, right? Even though it's like, you know, not the same marquee matchup it used to be. It still has like history around the league. So I don't know if he was going to play. To be honest with you, though, I really don't care. I think that this line is too high for Reaves. Maybe I'll eat my words on this, but against a slow-paced team, a solid defensive team, a coach that has shown tendencies to scheme against like clear-cut number one options, especially guards in the past, I will sell high on this, man. This is a super, super high line for Austin Reaves. All right, guys, 5th and final play. I am going to fade Austin Reaves' old teammate. I'm going to take Anthony Davis under 21.5 points. So they are playing against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Obviously, guys, we go down here, opponent defense, fewest points in the restricted area. Just like if you hover over here, points in the paint allowed fewest. Yes, they are without Hardenstein, but still, guys, Hardenstein's missed the past couple games. And if you look at like last 10 games for defensive stats, OKC by a wide margin is still allowing the fewest field goals made from less than 10 feet. Guys, if you ever watched OKC play, especially against stars who are paint dominant, it is a brutal matchup. It is an absolutely brutal matchup. Davis on his post-ups will be doubled. Davis, when he catches the ball down low, will see doubles. Yeah, I mean, they allow such few points in the restricted area in the paint for a reason. OKC does. It's because they are going to like allow catch and shoot threes from poor shooters. They're going to allow pull-up jumpers from, you know, not super good pull-up shooters. which is what Dallas is full of, right? Dallas is full of guys you're cool with shooting threes, whether it's Cooper Flag, Najee Marshall, maybe even PJ Washington. D'Lo, you're totally fine with him jacking up middies and pull up jumpers and stuff like that. So look, guys, Anthony Davis did have a good game against OKC earlier this year. I will say, man, 5 for 5 from the stripe, 1 for 2 from 3, 10 for 16 from the field. That's a very, very good true shooting percentage. And on top of that, guys, Anthony Davis did play 38 minutes in this game. And so, look, he is now 3 games back from injury. First game back, he played 28 minutes. Second game, he played 32 minutes. And I'm sure everyone was on his overs last game thinking like, oh, yeah, well, 32 minutes. Now here comes 34, then 36 against OKC. Well, against Miami, close game, very competitive game, not a blowout whatsoever. I'm hovering over this right now. This dude did not commit a foul either. He went back down to 28 minutes. So what this tells me, guys, is that Anthony Davis has been hurt so damn much. He's coming off of a calf injury. This Dallas team I know that they've had a couple good wins recently, but still, let's be real, they're not contending for anything. There's been a ton of trade rumors involving Davis. What that 28-minute game against Miami tells me is that he's probably just going to be around 30 minutes for a while. I think that they want to keep him healthy. They want to keep him on the court. They want to showcase him for trades. Maybe if they do actually want to contend, they want to keep him healthy. So, look, I have him for 30 minutes here. But with that being said, I feel like I'm being mega conservative with this here, guys. I mean, look who they're playing. They're playing the Thunder in Oklahoma City. There is a 15-point spread on this. So I think that like 30 minutes is probably what he's going to play in a close game, right? I mean, him not playing the fourth quarter is definitely for sure in the range of outcomes, right? Or just anytime you're playing in OKC, right? It can get brutal. But guys, so if we look at this chart, one last thing I want to say on Anthony Davis to make my point. On the year, he's averaging 20.6 points per game. I know that, he had an injury game in there, but on the year, he's averaging 29.8 minutes too, right? So he's averaging 29.8 minutes and 20.6 points. I have him playing 30 minutes, right? So obviously you bump that up like a little bit. He's averaging 20.7 points per 30 minutes. And guys, he's playing the Thunder. Like, when do you ever get a line under his season average when they're playing against OKC, especially in OKC, right? So look, that's going to be the final thing, man. If you look at like Cooper Flag's line, right? Cooper Flag, another paint dominant guy who I definitely looked into his unders. I mean, guys, he's averaging 17.3 points. The market adjusted that, and he's been trending up as a rookie, right? Market adjusted to that. His line's at 15.5 points. Everyone else is like under their season average, and as they should be, right, in OKC. Anthony Davis's line being at 21.5 in a game at OKC when we know they're going to double him, when we know that they're brutally tough in the paint, when we know that there's super high blowout potential, it's kind of absurd to me when he's only averaging 20.7 points per 30 minutes. So Anthony Davis under 21.5 points is going to be my 5th and final play. Massive slate today, guys. Beautiful slate, famous last words. But with that being said, guys, I will be live tonight at 6 p.m. reacting to injury news, starting lineups, guys. This is going to be one of the best live streams like ever for it. Just like whenever you get these massive slates, there's so much going on. It's going to be a whole lot of fun to break down. So make sure you guys are tapped into the live stream at 6 o'clock p.m. And of course, guys, make sure to drop a like, sub to the channel, comment down below, enter yourself in this giveaway if we do indeed have a positive day. And with that being said, I do truly appreciate every single one of you guys for tuning in, and let's have a day.